As the 11th largest city in Poland, it does appear as though the home of the Intel Extreme Masters and this major are ready to get underway, and they just gotta wait one more day before we get there. My name is Trey Saranthus. Welcome back. We do have the first match of the day to talk about here as we start to take a look at what is an elimination game and also one that will send a team through into the playoffs. Playing in front of the big arena, in front of the big Spodek, with all the lore around it. And I do have Sean Gares and Jacob Vinicki here joining me. Talk a little bit about that of ENCE versus AVANGAR. That is the teams in contention, fellas.
Yes.
A lot of S's. Sorry, you know how it gets. So
two teams that so far have given us a little bit of mixed signals, I would say, in the tournament, as we established before. ENCE having started out really, really slow in this stage of the major. That said, though, they have picked up the pace just a little bit, seemingly more strong now than they were before. Whereas for AVANGAR, I was very surprised by the level they came out with in the first stage, pressuring Liquid on overpass, I believe it was. They could have won that map. They could have sent Liquid down with a loss, but they didn't, unfortunately. So it's been good, it's been bad, it's been a lot of mixed signals, and I honestly do not know what level to expect from these two teams right now.
Yeah, it's hard to say, where you rate AVANGAR, because they were done so poor. Like, they were done in a wrong way by the other teams by being put in the 15th seed of this event. Yeah. Their matches so far have been Liquid, Energy, FaZe, Na'Vi, and now they're going to have to play ENCE in a best of 3. This is by far their easiest matchup, in my opinion. I guess Energy looked a little bit flat in this stage. But yeah, you don't really know what to expect from them because they're such a young team. They have such high highs and low lows. And they're so, I guess, good across all of the maps that you really don't even know which way the veto is going to go.
From an outside perspective looking in, and as to obviously what the vetoes are now, Mirage training, well, I don't know, a little bird and on my paper here actually came by and wrote overpass. Oh, there it is, boom. Okay, so we know the maps, but to talk about ENCE, I mean, we have to say yes, we come in here and we think they're going to be disciplined. We think that they're going to be this well-drilled machine, and yes, they have had a tougher road on themselves. Sean, would you agree with Pimp's sentiment that we need to manage our expectations of what is to be expected of this ENCE lineup?
I think so. I mean, both of these lineups are extremely young. The only team younger left in the event is Liquid, whose average age is 21, shockingly. But these maps, I mean, looking at the veto, these work out really well for ENCE. Their win percentages on these maps, Mirage 80%, Train 92%, Overpass 86%. Now, by no means is AVANGAR slouches on any of these maps. I think they're excellent on them. They probably played tougher opponents recently, like I just pointed out. But this is going to be a tough best of 3 for AVANGAR.
And in terms of implications, this is exactly where you don't want to find yourselves, on the cusp of going home or going through. And we actually do have the opportunity to speak with the coach of AVANGAR right now to hear what he's got to say going into this matchup. He's down on the sidelines with Frankie. Let's check it out.
I'm here with Dastan, the coach for AVANGAR, and I'd like to talk to you about that game against Na'Vi. What happened to the guys?
It was hard match for us because it's from same region. And they had best player in the world. It's a bit hard. I think we had some mental problems against them. We played a bit scary. That's all.
Simple, to be fair, wasn't on his best game in that match. It felt a bit like maybe AVANGAR was scared?
Not it was, I don't know. It was hard feeling to play against them. But it was on the second map we played good, but we lost some crucial rounds, 2 versus 5, and we lost anti-force round, and it was hard to come back to the game.
Well, let's talk about more positive results, though, because you guys beat FaZe, you beat NRG. Why are AVANGAR able to upset these huge teams?
Because we don't know American players that much, or we didn't play it with FaZe. We played with FaZe a lot. We know that they had problems with communication. It's easier to know that they had problems. We practiced it with them a lot. And FaZe, I don't know, FaZe, it's FaZe. Right now, it's not so hard to play against FaZe right now. They are not in good shape form. It's not good form.
So let's talk about ENCE. What kind of form do you think ENCE are in?
ENCE, today we and ENCE have different story to play this match. And we played against them in August. We beat them in online qualifier to IEM Chicago. But now it's different teams. We and they are now it's different teams. It will be a big game. I don't know about ENCE that much. We prepared. It will be good match.
Well, good luck to you and the guys with AVANGAR, Dastan. Let's head back to the desk.
And the thing about this is, and as we heard him say, of course, this matchup is the one. This is the whole thing here, the whole enchiladas.
I think it was a good point you brought up that this is by no means an easy task for AVANGAR, but it is the easiest opponent they could face in this instance of the matchup. Now they've faced NRG, they played against Na'Vi, they've been sending us some mixed signals, but so far I think AVANGAR have that extra gear. I think we're still to see them play at the absolute best, especially after considering that matchup against Liquid. I really felt that they were playing strong against one of the best teams in the world, and they could have won that overpass game.
Toe-to-toe, which is a crazy thing to think about. Liquid are certainly a favorite now that they find themselves on the opposite side of the bracket, to go through and win this whole thing. So if you're talking about a team putting them to the test here, the work is cut out all around when it comes to the teams. But perhaps like individuals, I know we tout Jame as being that one shining beacon coming out of the CIS that isn't just simple or electronic or flamey. But for Jame, he's going to have to step up big in his own way today too, Sean.
Yeah, and Jame, I mean, is used to playing really well under pressure, right? He's gone up against some serious teams lately, and he keeps continuously putting up numbers while in-game leading. Kicker's also been having a very good tournament. But two people you really need to look out for are Fitch and Krizen. They've had very poor tournaments so far.
Well, I guess we can look out for all of them, because it is, in fact, time to get them down there on the stage. Get them situated, get them set up, and perhaps get those mouse pads fired up as well. Let's go ahead and get the teams on the stage right now.
Versus one. Denied here. Oh my goodness. She has a chance here. This is unbelievable. 1 versus 1 now. That is so sick.
Firstly, welcoming us to the stage will be that of ENCE. The time is due, and around the world, the word spreads. Sweden, the best, cowered, fear, and locked themselves in the nearest IKEA retail store. Brazilians run into safety of the, well, where they're from and all that. And perhaps we take a look at what is ENCE Esports. We're touting these as to be one of the best, but ultimately, this is going to be the toughest match of their entire careers at this point. Maybe not so much for Alu, but this is the one. This is the big one.
This is the big one. This one is the one that's going to determine whatever we can expect more from ENCE going into the future, or we should just manage our expectations. I'm not sure yet. I'm not convinced yet that ENCE is a top 8 team in the world, but I think after this matchup we'll be much more smarter on that matter.
Well, Sean, talking about ENCE and Alu being that veteran over there, I think you obviously spent some time playing against this guy, but for what it's worth, is he that leader figure? Is he able to pull this ENCE lineup through?
I'm not sure if he's a leader figure. I'm sure he is amongst his teammates here because they're so young. I've never played with Alu, so I can't really comment. But he's a phenomenal player, and he plays very, very smart Counter-Strike, which, you know, that as something to look at when you're a younger player is super important, right? He's spreading the right message as to how to play Counter-Strike. Yeah. And that's what you see when you watch ENCE. They play fundamentally sound Counter-Strike.
Well, talking about the sound of Counter-Strike, we will be hearing that rather sooner than later, but of course you need to join us on your favorite social medias, and that's going to be hashtag IEM. Make sure you go ahead and slide in the @IEM as well. Make sure they see all the tweets, all of the good posts as we jump into Mirage. That's the first matchup here in the series. It's one where AVANGAR have picked it, ENCE have selected CT, and we're seeing quite a strange phenomenon where everybody wants to start CT. Why is that, Sean?
You know, it's kind of weird. I guess it didn't used to be like that for the first game of the day. It typically bodes well to start T-side because you can swarm people. You have the AK one-shot potential. And there's just way more opportunity to snowball a team if you have that first match of the day on T-side. But the way that the meta has been playing out with the AUGs, I think everyone wants to play CT side. They don't want to be in that massive hole And that's why you're seeing a lot of CT picks.
I'm glad we get to see Mirage in this matchup. I was afraid AVANGAR was not ballsy enough to go for the pick. When you look at the win statistics for ENCE, they have 80% won on the map in the past 3 months. But if you dive a little deeper into that, they have lost 2 times in this major so far against Winstrike, and they also lost against Renegades on the map. So despite having a high win record, they're not really looking that strong at this particular tournament on the map of Mirage. So I'm glad AVANGAR was not scared away by a statistic that when you look further into it, is not really that strong.
Well, you talk about looking further into it. Is it something where we can say that both of these teams are not at the very A game, but today they're going to have to play that regardless?
They have to. I mean, if these teams are not on the A game, if this is not enough motivation for them to play the absolute best brand of Counter-Strike that these 2 teams can play, then there's no excuse for them not going through. This has to be the A game.
Sean, A game is about to be played. ENCE versus AVANGAR. You're standing there, you're in the booth, you got all the whiteboards, you got all the markers, and you're ready to draw out how to beat these teams. What are you saying to your teams?
Ooh, when I watched ENCE play yesterday, it would have been very difficult because their T sides look very, very strong. So I don't know what to say about them.
It's a tough one, no matter which angle you're looking at it from. We do have ENCE taking on AVANGAR here in the opener of the day, and what could be very well the path on into winning their way into the playoffs. Of course, to deliver the action will be Henry G and Sadakis. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much. We will. This is going to be a great one. I have to say, if you think it's going to be easy for ENCE, I don't think you realize how awesome AVANGAR are, because they, in my opinion, are the favorites. I'm going to say it right now.
All right, they definitely have the potential to win, but these teams both have their individual problems. It's going to be Sergey finding that first frag, the execution coming in from the CIS team here. It's Alexi B holding towards CT spawn and Ali rotating him. The bomb is being planted. AVANGAR have quite the advantage here, but maybe not for long.
Bomb still planted, though. Round 4, Aerial tagged up. Certainly the potential there is to scale and perhaps have the depth, the tactical prowess on the ENCE side of things. See if Krizen, kicker, can match that of James. As Alu, he's going to rotate back around the stairs. Aerial's already found Krizen. That's going to put down Sandwich, which means they can get deeper in from CT. Low HP on 3. Buster has to swing. He has to go wide. The problem is now the bomb's on the wrong side of the boxes, but Kickered, he's got the lineup and doubles up. In fact, AVANGAR, great start to take the first round.
The P250 in the smoke, and the low HP players trying to scramble for the bomb. It's Kicker that manages to clutch out the round there. It's a big one for AVANGAR. They get the T-side pistol, and it all comes down to this moment. You can see with no X-ray on, he can't actually see that much. He did see the second player, and only about 10 HP remaining on either. He manages to win the round. There's going to be a force buy in response here from ENCE. Ali with the scout. We've seen a lot of these second round force buys work out for teams, especially on Mirage. So this one can be effective. They've got 4 smokes on the CT side, Deagles, CZs, and Alu now waiting for an opportunity, seeing if anyone dares walk up the connector.
Fair enough. Alu, good headshot on the scout. Kicker's the one to get him back. Similar shot to what he had in the pistol. Through the connector and toward the A site. Catches him off. Smoke goes down. James wants to push onto it. Watch Aerial as well in this. 14 HP. They're going to get away, or throw away, I should say, the AK inside of mid. Which, considering the fact that there's 2 MAC-10s, that AK might have been better suited to just go to James' hands.
Could be right. Kick up with the MAC-10 now. It's 45 seconds remaining. He's low. They make their way towards the A site.
Okay, so it did. Oh no, he did. I don't know why you throw that AK away in that situation. Fair enough. Sergey tries to get the tag. He's taken down to 49 himself.
We've got a Molotov remaining, a flashbang. We use the Molotov towards spawn and try to get the plant down. Running out of time here. That has been deployed. As the CTs will try and deny the plant the best they can. It's up to Sergey to do it, but he hits the shot, but unable to actually find the frag. Aerial now making his way through. It's 4 players to the good for ENCE, and they have not got a kit here. James, with this MAC-10, needs to find absolutely everything. Buy as much time as he possibly can.
Already on the defuse. James gets one already. They're holding it. This is going to be done. Force buy is going to work for ENCE. They're almost done a full 10-second defuse. I don't think they're even aware of it. James not swinging when he should be, but Aerial's already got him down. He's already holding off the angle on the CZ, and it's 1-1.
There we go. We have said that those second round force buys seem to be working very, very well. It's the scout that seems to have a lot of impact at this particular event. Alu opens things up, a very nice shot towards short. Manages to get the tag on the second as well. And at that point, AVANGAR didn't really have a response. They ran out of utility, tried to pick them off one by one, like you said, throwing away the AK-47 out of the map. Buster dropped as well. Ariel found the OHP. Krizin on the other side of that push. No force buy in response, actually. There's going to be Jame with the AK and armor. He makes his way towards the end of Palace here, just looking for a dry peek and see whether he can open up the bomb site. Actually going to make his way all the way out and commit towards CT spawn. This is brave. They need to open things up, but unfortunately for them, it's not going to happen as Sergey gets 2. Great work with the MP5.
Buster just waiting it out with P250. Swings, wants the headshot. He'll go for the body instead. Taking enough shots at that point, might as well just finish the job any way possible. Go down eventually to Alu. That puts him in the open from Palace, but Alu snaps back to find Krizin as well. Fitch inside of Connector actually finds 2. Gets away with the second through the smokies. More damage than potentially should have happened and should have occurred to ENCE, but they'll take their second round.
So no force buy there. No bomb plant. AVANGAR will be able to buy into the next round, but there will be compromises. They got 4 AKs so far. I think Krizin had to drop one. He's actually got Glock armor right now. He gets a MAC-10 thrown to him. Alu displaying some fantastic aim there. Manages to close things out as well. Always great to see the AWPer racking up some cash. As he got that to kick things off here. Just the AK for now. I say just. UMP's an area on X7. And they're going to be pushing towards middle. Fast commitment from the AVANGAR boys here. Really trying to force the issue and surprise the CTs, but they're ready and waiting.
Kicker, though, good position to be in. Unfortunately, he went for Sergey and had to trade it, and he ultimately needed to get the kill cleanly. They needed to get back a 2-man deficit. It's going to all go away from them. That's how it ends. 2 men to the good. Alexi B and X7. X7 being a bit quiet to start off this game. Hasn't found a kill yet, but everyone else has. In fact, 5 on 3 and 4 on the other. 3-1 score in favor of ENCE on the CT side. And money gets limited again for AVANGAR. So just the pistol for them so far. This will be 3 in a row.
Absolutely. Like we said, the dry approach towards A, that's what we'd call a contact play. Making their way through and trying to crack open the skulls of the CTs. Not really looking too efficient right now. They have to be dropped down to just deagles here. No armor, no nades, as ENCE look to find their 4th in a row here. Lost bonus starting to rack up, of course, as AVANGAR look towards middle. The bomb's still down towards the T-spawn area. It's Krizin trying to use the deagle in the most effective manner here. Takes a little bit of grenade damage. Can he survive here? I'm not sure. He is being hunted. Alu decides to fall back. He doesn't have to commit to this frag. He's confirmed the eco. If he goes down, wouldn't be the end of the world, but certainly not ideal. He'll be holding now with the MP9 towards Palace. You can see AVANGAR is trying to bleed out any utility they can. Wait for impatient players to start pushing. Buster might be able to get 1 kill here. Ali's been taken down to 59.
So Deagles to try and crack things open and get it going. Again, 3 rounds in a row. This will be a 4th round loss bonus if it goes against them, and they've got enough money that'll certainly work. Gotta be careful, though. Fitch takes out Ariel.
Hello.
Buster takes out Sergey. That's a start that they needed. Alexi B will at least pull things back as he gets out on catwalk with the AUG. Alu controls the A site against Kickard, and he's got to be careful of Buster, who's already getting behind the box. That makes it harder with the MP9 to spray, and it gives him headshot potential. He nails it. Alexi, though, has spotted the fact that James gone back. Bombs down towards spawn, so James was hoping to get a free rite of passage toward it. He will pass by the nade, but they're still segregated. Buster all the way over on the site. Bomb, CT spawn, okay. Fortunately for them, Alexi gave up on the fight. Didn't want to hold it off because he could have cut out Fitch in that equation as well. And now all falls to X7 to catch them in transition. 6 seconds, bomb got by.
He actually gets it down. That 1 kill decided the outcome of this round. Was missed. X7 unable to connect, and it's now going to be a 3 versus 2. And they do have kits available here, and headshots it seems as X7 looks towards CT spawn. There is a player there, and he needs to be aware of him. Spots him, and remember, no armor. He will melt even through the box here. It's going to be the 1 versus 1. Fitch does manage to bring it back in at least some sort of contention here.
He's going to hold. I don't know why Fitch doesn't consider this. He's already on it behind the boxes. Fitch is a little bit late, and not only that, he'll go down as X7 defuses and kills 4 for ENCE as a result of it. I think he needed to go sooner. Backside of the box, you know he's at A main. 9 times out of 10, that's held.
The problem is, you know he's got an AK, you've got no armor. As soon as the bullets touch you in any sort of way, you are going to go down. He's hoping he's not full defusing. There's no way of knowing for sure, of course. He touched the bomb, hope for the best, and he went for the full defuse, and it turns out it's the right call. Great deagle shots from AVANGAR. They've certainly got the skill, but now need to start showing the strategy as well. It's been pretty weak in that department so far. Lots of contact approaches, and this is more of a default now. So I'll slow it right down, go for that classic mid control, and the CTs are going for an aggressive push towards the A ramp because these 2 players maybe going to flash over now. There's the flash, and going for the first pick. They traded out. Not quite what they were looking for there, considering Aerial's gone down to 40 HP, but they'll take it, and that's going to push AVANGAR towards the B bomb site.
Monster gets Alexi B immediately. He'll get inside of the ladder room as a result of it, but watch this because X7 pushed up. If Krizin goes too far forward and thinks he's clearing out the site, he has to consider the off angle. He will. Shoulder spotted. X7, poor timing, unfortunately for him. Little would he have known. And now, I must say, it's ye of little faith for ENCE because it's 4-on-2 and B site wide open. It looks like a save toward Palace instead.
I think you might be right there. The money has been a little chaotic for ENCE after the close call in the previous round against the Deagles. They don't really have much of a bankroll whatsoever. They'll hold on to the AWP and the AUG. So that all leads from the ENCE push toward the A ramp. As soon as you've shown 2 players there, AVANGAR have that mid control as we discussed. They've actually got the call. It's an equal trade. At that point, it's 4-on-4, right? You can confirm that there's 2 players that are pushing towards the A ramp. There's probably a 3rd waiting there as well. So get towards B, trade out those kills, and they got that 1 frag required, and it all comes crumbling down. ENCE have to save. There's no point even going for that retake. You got 4 kills to find. You got an AWP on the other side of the map as well, and Ali just decides to hold on to it. He is capable of winning rounds single-handedly, especially the AWP, so expect some fireworks from him in the next round. And will be AVANGAR finding their second. Will ENCE force into this though? That's the question. Alexi B with 1400. He won't be able to buy next round anyway, so they might as well see what they can do off the back of this. They would have UMPs, a P250 in armor, and the AUG combo. Might want to take a time out here to discuss their options. I think Alu just dropped a P250, so they're not going to go for the full investment here. Still very early days, looking at the bigger picture. It's still possible to win the round. They're going to be boosting towards the B bomb side there. Maybe getting Aerial's rifle boosted towards short or C. Actually focusing all the firepower towards A. So the AWP and the AUG, both right next to each other on the steps and connect up, hoping they can focus this side of the map and get a couple of kills and push them towards that stack.
James just waits at this point in time for the AWP to come into its own. Does have to consider that Alu has one on the other side. Doesn't want to be caught off by that, but he'll just hold at A for now, and they slowly accumulate in that position. It looks as though execution is the name of the game. There's 1 inside of Palace. There's 4 outside on the ramp, and already I can tell you they are setting up, as you can see, for the smokes that will land both inside of jungle and bounce across on top of the stairs.
Now there will be a gap in that smoke. There is the option to boost behind it. But for now, the CTs might just let this one slip by. As Alu is in CT spawn now, rotating through the vent. Aerial does find the first kill, so they'll be interested in this round now. They do have a kit available, a flashbang, but no smokes.
I'll give it a crack. At least the pistols can justify it, but Fitch already sprays into one. They know he's in sandwich. Interestingly, there we go, it's early yet. They don't go over top. They can't go over top. If they tried to do that, they would have been cut off from A main, so wrapping around was the only option to try and double up on Fitch's position. He gets dropped. Krizin, but Kicker gets X7. And it'll be the rounds. So 3 kills for Fitch in total. Again, Alu just wants to save the AWP, but he's surrounded completely. They're pushing down towards CT, and he's spotted. Even though he wants to back off, Fitch gets his 4th.
There was a moment there where ENCE had the advantage. It was Aerial that found the first frag, but the A execution was a little bit too powerful for them. They didn't have the utility to hold them off and just locked them outside the smokes. Had to try and duel 1 versus 1. You see Fitch opening things up with a wall bang towards Alexi B. Then they lined up for him as he found 2 more kills. Remember, that was the eco. They did have a couple of saved weapons that did not force into the round. Things actually get a little bit more problematic after losing the AWP. It's AVANGAR with a couple of rounds in a row here. They're closing the gap. It's 4-3 overall on their T side of Mirage. 2 players go towards lower here. Not fully equipped, not really feeling it. So Alu going to be trying to hunt for the first frag. 2 players have actually already gone past him towards B. He's going to get this first kill, not quite. Crizin reads it, takes him down. He had the AUG and a helmet as well, so that's a great kill to find. Ariel's hoping he can catch them, trying to grab the AUG perhaps. We'll see.
M4 versus wow. AUG carried over, and it absolutely destroys Ariel. Alexi's going to go down as well. Buster with the kill to follow it. X7 with a UMP. He was caught last time he transitioned inside the holes. This time he gets the spray down, and thankfully for his sake, he wasn't so far forward that he couldn't get out. He was still right beside the window, so he jumps away. Unfortunately, Buster gets him inside of the site, and it's all onto Sergey to save at this point in time. Bombs to go down on the B side of the map, and it'll be a return from AVANGAR. Now 3 in a row to tie the total that ENCE has.
Really nice play from AVANGAR there. Waiting for any potential threats at all the key choke points there. It's the Mac 10 opens things up. It upgrades straight away to an AUG. Ends up getting 3 kills in total. That's Crizin. Really great work from him. And they make their way towards B at that point. They know the money's low. There's not going to be an incendiary on the other side. They're challenging an SMG in the B apartments. Yes, X7 got 1 kill, but he's traded out very quickly. At that point, B side's open, and the round is done. AVANGAR could be able to sneak a lead in here. It's 4-4, and it's going to be a timeout as the coach of ENCE gets stuck in. Here's the initial kill. You see dinks him upon arrival and mows him down through the fence there. It's going to be Crizin with 3 and ENCE with a decision to make. With the money they have right now, as you can see on your screens, left-hand side, not really enough there. CT side you need for a good buy, like 4,500 to get M4s, smokes, flashbangs, 5k if you want the incendiaries. A bit more of your AWP. And that's exactly what Aloe is. He currently sits on 2,400. It's round 9. AVANGAR starting to wake up and show us that nice basic approach to Counter-Strike. Hitting shots, lots of skill, good coordination. That's what they've got to this stage, but they want to go a lot further. Winning in this series will get them the 3-2 status and take them into the final 8 of the tournament. It's a B stack from ENCE. Now this works out a lot more than you might think. A full eco towards the B site. There's a lot of teams that for some reason love to just rush B when they're against pistols, and it can all come crumbling down.
Yeah, it happens far too commonly. Fortunately, at this point in time, AVANGAR looks like they've got other plans. They're spread out across the map. They just need to get a little information, and that's going to happen right now. Buster rather, has already dropped inside of the site at A. He worked out from Palace, and given that he's gone all the way toward the CT stairs, not yet spotting anyone, Fitch confirms the jungle's clear. Bomb's heading that way. So it does work out. You are absolutely right. We see that all the time. Seems to be, in all honesty, more in the late game you see it. When teams are feeling pressured, when they're making sporadic decisions, that's when the mistakes start to happen. Right now, 4-4 map 1. It is a deciding match. Winner in, loser gone. It's extremely high stakes considering we're at a major and what that entails being inside of the Legends category for the next cycle, but it's pretty early yet to see the mental capacity break down that much.
If you're playing a map like Mirage and you suspect they're on pistols, just think about it for a second, because you're considering jumping through the tightest possible choke point on the map where you actually have to be mid-air before you can actually access the bomb site. It doesn't really make sense. If there's potential CZs in a 5-man stack which you have no information about, if you break that all down, if they are there, it's a massive mistake to actually consider it. So if you ever think they're pistols, default first, get some intel, work out if you can throw a Mac 10 in there, see what's going on, and then if there's only one player there, sure, send everyone in after. But definitely wants to make sure you're playing smart as we get into the next round. It's going to be AVANGAR taking the lead in round 10. 5-4 in their favor on the T side of Mirage here. It's going to be Aloe who brings out the glass cannon AWP. Doesn't worry me too much. He can play this in the correct manner, I'm sure. He's going to peek A ramp or doesn't fully commit to it, but we'll see if he wants to swing out a little bit further. Now watching towards Palace. There's a player making his way towards the end very quickly. He's taken care of by Sergey before he can get out.
That was well read. Aloe didn't need to watch it. He knew Sergey was already up toward the door, so good find on the M4. He'll hold close as well on balcony. Bomb gets gathered up from T-spawn, already losing Palace. Naturally, that heads over toward B. Instead, Crizin is the closest to contact at B, but he's going to hold for now. They don't have information on underpass. So Kickert will give that a quick check, I presume, on the way by. But nonetheless, James heads up middle instead. That looks to be a B split. Aerial forward of the smoke inside of connector as well could easily catch them off on this. There's no further utility to play with on the T side. They cannot smoke him off again. They can't even flash. They have to take the fight with him.
That's quite the scary process, isn't it? Alu's going to hit that, no problem. They did have at least a Molotov they could have thrown in there.
It's true, and I do see one flash on Kickard, so they could have done that, but he was over toward B, so it wasn't like they could use it in that position.
Well, this is the unraveling of AVANGAR there after so many successful rounds. Imagine get 4 in a row. It all starts to look very weak. Walking up short there. I guess not expecting Alu to hold the angle, but either way, jump past it at least instead of walking into a guaranteed kill for him. It is kick up, 16 HP, 5-1, just looking for any sort of damage he can cause financially. Bomb is down, he's not going to grab it. He's got a Molotov, flash and an HE, but at this stage just wants to take a player down with him.
X7. Aggressive. He's anticipated correctly, and Kickard knows he's got to move out of the corner. 7 seconds, just wants to keep the AK. By confirming that he is still that far up inside of the apartments as well, this gives the option to chase through the underpass, but I don't know that Ariel's going to get far enough to get through the doorway at the kitchen.
Oh,
he'll get him through the window instead.
Yeah, that wall bang doesn't do a ton of damage, but when they've only got 10 HP, that will do. So knowing he was in kitchen, they go for the spam, and you actually see a kill come through. So Fitch gives himself up to Alu, and Aero uses that information to swing out from the connector and just take them down one by one. You were right. So yes, they had a flashbang, sure, but they didn't have the smokes or window. Connector walked up, and you could see how simple that was.
And to be fair, yeah, even a connector, the flash was way over inside of the B apartments. It wasn't going to do anything to try and get by Ariel at that point in time. So it wasn't in the correct position, unfortunately, just how the cookie crumbles, as you would say, Henry.
I would say that.
You'd probably say biscuit, actually.
How the biscuit crumbles.
The
no, I
tea
think
crumpets, or what do you call those?
tea and crumpets, yes. How the crumpet crumbles. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Onomatopoeia. Not onomatopoeia. Alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah.
There we go.
Well, ENCE do bounce back, but with the reinvestment of grenades, they still have a potential reset on the cards here, even with keeping so many players alive in the previous round. There's an AK for Sergey, an AUG for X7 and Lexi B, and Alu. Bit of a specialist on this map. I'm interested to see whether he can really get going here. I think these teams are very equally matched. ENCE certainly have their issues, but AVANGAR a little bit streaky too. It's going to be Busted. It goes down at the very start of the round through the smoke, and it will be Lexi B to find him there. 5 versus 4 in the first 10 seconds of the round as well. It's always a bit gutting to receive that. No potential chance of actually answering back. So B execution might be here. They're going to go for the smokes towards pillars perhaps and try and get themselves out. Setting up 3 players to make their entrance. If they can get a quick kill on X7 here, they actually have a chance. He misses the first shot. Does he have anything to hold them off here? Just one smoke.
He does back into the corner. X7 doesn't need smokes. He's got kills. Gonna put it down now. That'll buy him some space because they have to wrap around the inside of the quad position, and he can do the same, try and greet them, but it's Kickard and James that get the entry for AVANGAR. Watch James pushing through as he'll catch off Alu as well from the bench position. Back up as well. He's got bomb. So he can get away. Jumps up, confirms hallways clear. Still has to cross the window to get out, to go the other direction. And he knows they've rotated over. He's got 47 seconds. He's snuck far enough back to be out of sight. But does he go back? Does he consider it again? He could just wait. He could just not be. He's got them in the open, but Ariel's got a great shot in return.
A lot of skill on this server right now. He's seeing these 1v1 duels, and very quickly indeed. It will be ENCE to take the lead once again, 6-5. Ariel to get the first kill, top and middle. And once it goes to an early 5-on-4 like that, you know you've got to make a decision. Your defaults haven't worked out. You don't have a ton to work with. And they start walking towards B. They went for a very basic approach in terms of the execution. Managed to trade out a couple of kills, but in the end, the 2 versus 1 comes down to the 1v1 duels. And it is ENCE taking the lead now. Still enough for a full buy here. AVANGAR might try to handle another default, it seems, as James doesn't have the orb this time. 5 and 7 to his name, considered the star of this team, and another man who's a star is Kickard. He's got 9. He holds the A ramp. They're going to go for a split here eventually. You can see them posturing towards middle, but the bomb's still down in T spawn, so this might take longer than expected, as Alu will drop the one-way smoke to allow him to get a bit more vision towards mid. But Fitch is on the other side. Flashbang deployed, waiting for the reaction as he helps out towards Palace as well. It's Lexi B holding CPL, which has been a massive problem for teams this event. Like just walking past it, not flashing it. Need to make sure you drop at least a flash in there before you check it.
And I'm sure you've deduced at this point by the lack of action and the proximity of the radar, it's actually going to be Crizin down below in the underpass. So even though they were stacked on top of each other, they were 3 stories apart. Ariel will get Buster. Now you can see the result of Crizin working out inside of that mid position. Smoke down. Takes away vision from Alu. He wanted the PK main, take the advantage of the fact that he had a conceal to his left side, but was aware that a smoke is not a wall, as Stewie often displayed just 2 years ago that everyone started pushing smoke so wildly.
Yeah, a lot of teams at that time would consider them like force fields, but you can surprise them and push through. It's the same story for Molotovs as well, really. Aerial will get his second kill of the round. It's one of the few players still using the silence M4 with clinical precision. As Alexi confirms the round here, Alu doesn't miss. It's 5-on-1, and Fitch has no grenades, half health, and at this point, no chance to actually do anything with this. 15 seconds remain. A slow default yields absolutely nothing here for AVANGAR. We'll see if he can actually hold the weapon. The loss bonus is there. Oh, it's only going to be a third stage, actually, so probably better off holding on to the A-gate. His teammates, 5k on James, Buster, 4,000 as well. They'd probably go for this, considering they have the AK and Fitch has no cash, so they can join him in that department. James could afford a glass cannon, or, like I said, we haven't really seen much from him at all yet. Here's bottom fragging. He does purchase it up straight away, so fancies it. He's going to get a smoke to accompany it. Here's Aerial. M4, silence. Very accurate, very satisfying to find the headshots, but you're only limited to 20 bullets in the magazine as they set up for an A execution here on the T side. They have fully invested a Krieg, an AWP, and a couple of Deagles as well. See if this is enough as they fend off the initial exchange of grenades.
Need to be aware of the fact that Sandwich is occupied as well. Grenades, the name of the game. There's 2 Molotovs left for AVANGAR. Try and utilize those in that position. It's not uncommon. Krizin already with his draw, and he's actually going to throw a bench so no one can push through the smoke. That's going to buy Sergey space. Alu hits 2 as well on the way through. Sergey's going to be sitting there completely unannounced, but James will find him. He's got the angle just enough as Alu wants to try and respond. So far, no flank option for it because the other 2 are both toward A main. They could start to wrap around from mid. That would put a lot of pressure on the post plant if there is to be one. If they can get the bomb down, James, he's got to hold himself off at this point in time. There's literally not a grenade on anyone's belts. Neither of the players left with one, and he tries to even fake and bait with the AWP.
As far as they're concerned, Alu is in CT spawn right now, but he's actually rotated all the way around towards connector. Bomb planted. They do take a gamble in that respect. They've got nothing to hold the CTs at bay here. No grenades, and Alexi B in T spawn.
This is the obvious read. He knew that he could push through eventually. As soon as that bomb goes down, and Kickert's aware of it, he's had to turn around and look back at it because the AK... It's almost timing going against them. He's right in his thought. He's wrong in his time. It's so far away still. He's going to go back for a second one. Spots out the shoulder. That's enough information. They can at least play off it, but they know the peak's going to come in from the opposing side as well. And Kickert, he's ready for more. Even tried the pistol fake. Not going to work. James brought it down to a 2-on-2, but he's locked in the corner with an AWP. They're jumping, and they want to get on the bomb. He's missed the first shot. They're going to get away with it, surely.
It's going to be close, but they have got it. ENCE with a massive victory there. Their bankroll is out of control. Their 1v1 duels are looking so satisfying, and it's Alu with 3 kills in the sniper as well. That's a great play by him. He delays them so long by showing that presence in CT spawn. At that point, they're really tentative in their approach as you plant the bomb. He's made such a ruckus here on the A-bomb site. Falls back in CT spawn, comes in the connector, and at that point, you've got the flank coming in from T spawn as well, and it's just a nice pincer. He saw Kicker and James. We did mention they are the star players of this team. They made it a little bit exciting there towards the end, but unable to hit the close range shot. James will go down with the ship. 2 smokes, 1 flash. Really not an ideal situation. I think they're going to wait for another contact play here and just walk in dry. Here we go.
Means as well no Molotov to bounce at Shadow. No way. Sergey's going to get displaced easily, and the only attention drawn on him. Aerial steps out, but it is responded. The AK is getting kills back. A 3-on-3 situation. Half already won by ENCE. There's no money really for AVANGAR after this round either, so it becomes all important to make sure this stays within control, within a close score that they can then turn around and transfer on their CT side. Fitch, he's the deepest. James way over toward B, by the way, so they might just hold up. They might try and give him the space. Alexi is over there as well, though, and he's just off angle enough that James could get caught out by this.
It's not clear which way this round goes, but the T's with no smokes, no flashes, really have got their work cut out for them. Need to try and flush Alu out of the CT spawn area. He's watching towards Sandwich, but Fitch somehow does so much damage. Speaking of which, Alexi B needs to find this kill before it's too late. Oh, he's just going to let him go by? Oh, I think that's a bad move.
It is. He thinks that he's clearing the site so they can rotate back. He's called it for X7 at least, but he's actually gone because he was hoping to flank out the rotation. Now they know exactly where X7 is. They may not know the second position. They may think it's a little bit closer given that he wasn't spotted, but they'll get the bomb plant down. I need to see Fitch's kill from his perspective, by the way. That was from Sandwich through the box. I don't even know how he got the lineup on Alu.
Yeah, very impressive.
I think he just guessed. I think it was pure luck, but nonetheless, he knew the lineup, knew the skill to get that at least. Alexi B is back toward mid. He was the player in B. Fitch, he could cut him off. He can get him from jungle. And Buster's so far separated that even then he wouldn't be a threat. It's tradable perhaps by X7 if he swings out, not so much by Buster. Likewise, he's not tradable by them, and they're not going to look his direction. Smoke down mid-site's interesting because X7, he can already get on at Fitch. He's got the shot back, but he killed him at the exact time the defuse started. Does he know the lineup? Does he know where it is? He hasn't found it. He should have sprayed in. He'll get the kill after, but that's not good enough. It's ENCE with 9.
4 kills for Fitch, and the full defuse came in. I do agree. The spray there with the low HP player in front of him would have been enough. He was hoping it was the fake. Even when the smoke's down there, it's not a guarantee they're going for the full defuse. These players have many different levels and layers going on, and a lot of common plays revolve around dropping the smoke on top of the bomb, tapping it, waiting for the response, and then taking the kill. But there's Fitch. Manages to completely wreck Alu at that point, and you can see, okay, so he hadn't reloaded his gun, so that's why he doesn't go for the spray. He only had 3 bullets left when he actually got the final kill there, so he couldn't even go with the spray. So fair enough. 5 versus 3 now. Some very fast picks from AVANGAR with the maximum loss bonus here. They've got the AWP in the hands of James, and Aerial has to try and fight here. He does very well to get the kill at 8 round, but it takes him to 3 HP.
Fair shot with the AK. Last round slipped away from them. The bomb plants enabled to buy. Now we'll see if that can be converted as X7. He stays in the window room. Removed from the situation, and he might be removed from the round if he's not careful. The Kicker's still toward the top side of middle. He's now the only one left alive, and that's exactly the way it's going to end with Kicker catching him out. 9-6 at half. ENCE in the lead, CT side. But this game's got all sorts of possibility to end in either team's favor.
Well, this is the pick of AVANGAR, but it will go in favor, at least in the first half. 9-6 for ENCE. All the stars are starting to shine. We're seeing some great individual duels come down, but it's AVANGAR who managed to take a couple of rounds right at the end there. We'll see who wins after this break.
You wouldn't want it any other way. A close game between ENCE and AVANGAR, 9-6 at the end of the first half, and this series determines which of these two teams go through.
We've had some great showings so far. AVANGAR low on money throughout that first half. They're battling still. Their individual aim and prowess is notable, I have to say. They're looking very sharp indeed. As ENCE still have the lead, though. It's going to be 9-6, and I think you're all aware at this point. It's been so many maps played so far this tournament. The pistol and this sort of scoreline is everything. And it's going to be an early kill. They're going to rush off this. I think that's a good call. They were going to rush B, but the fact they've got a 5 and 4 so quickly, why not just slow it right down? Let's go back into a default. Let's exploit this advantage instead of running into a stack here. I think that's a really nice adjustment made there by ENCE. What's the response here from AVANGAR? They've got 3 in towards B right now and almost no one on A. That's exactly where ENCE are heading. They have one player there, that's James. He'll be holding a USP and armor. He has no utility. And they need this shot to connect, and Bust Up unable to pluck off that head. But James, my goodness, he certainly can. 4 on 4 now. He buys him some time.
James waiting, backing off, wanting them to overcommit to the fight, because they haven't planted the bomb yet.
Yeah, all 4 players swarm towards him, and he's still alive.
Yeah. Perhaps wise they did back off. If they had gone around the corner, he finds 1 or 2 kills on that. Bomb's not down. Everyone's on rotation. Then you get a massive problem. He knows they were there, so he goes looking. Good recovery by X7, but they've already given up the vent. He wasn't close enough to hold it, and therefore they get through. It's Kicker with 1. He'll smoke off toward the connector as well. That forces the hand of Aerial, who's inside of it. He's already taken down, though, by Alexi B, and now Aerial knows he has access back in. Krizin. If I'm Alexi right now, although this works as well because he gets around the box, he played sound cue. The other option was to go far right, take away the aim from Krizin, force him to look A main, and then Alexi would therefore be protecting Aerial from a trade, but time's gone. It's already worked out. The first man does the job. Alexi just on his own. In fact, he'll just spray the ENCE logo to remind them that's where the bomb was planted.
Leave his mark on the bomb site has now been blown up. It's going to be one player surviving for ENCE there, but a nice B-rushed approach is the start. Then somehow X7 gets a quick kill on a player jumping up to get information. Once he gets that, they cancel the rush. Take note from that, ladies and gentlemen. That's a great little call. If you are going to rush and you're somehow gifted a kill like that, you don't necessarily have to commit. It might seem quite tantalizing, but they all of a sudden are scrambling to make their way towards B, and you can capitalize upon the mistakes and overreactions there. No force buy in the second like ENCE did in the first half. They were actually successful there, remember. It was AVANGAR that picked up the first pistol, then the second round, it all came crashing down against the Scouts and CZs. I don't think there's any danger of ENCE losing this round, and they're not going to be rushing. They're just going to drop some smokes in. We talked about double pumps yesterday with the complexity game. This is just a little fake towards the A site and making their way back towards B. You can see it's worked out very well indeed. They've managed to get an open B site here, and it's no fault of AVANGAR. They're on full eco, right? They see 3 smokes arrive at the A bomb site. They're going to rotate. They haven't really got much else to go on. Still actual kills going down on the CT side here. They've managed to get in position at least, but a lot of work to do.
Aerial tries to get the kills. Instead, he just pushes them around the block, and around the block they arrive. Back in comes ENCE, and they convert. Unlike the first pistol that went the way of AVANGAR, they are able to convert the second round, giving them now an 11-6 lead. This will be a tough battle for AVANGAR to get back into the game.
But this is where James can come to his own. He can buy the glass cannon AWP, which he has, and we saw how capable he is in the first half. We'll see if he can replicate that here. Very big round. There's no kits and just a couple of smokes. That's it. ENCE know they have a crazy advantage here. They've got 3 SMGs, potential unarmored heads here. You can see AVANGAR focusing on the defense instead of the utility. They've got helmets. It's the B-rush this time, and the flashbangs are super effective as Fitch manages to get 1, but that should be round. Kicker, we'll see what's available to him. With that smoke, does he even dare push this? He does not. He falls back. I think that's the right call, because their money's going to be destroyed here. James better off to saving the AWP and having another crack at it next round. Kicker, not going to go for this, but seeing if he could find a frag. But this couldn't have started better now for ENCE. We always talk about this, man. That first gun round now, you've got residual SMGs. You want to keep it close range, keep it fast, take some gambles, and see if the MAC-10s can cause damage there, and they absolutely did. Only losing 1 player in the exchange, and we'll find round number 12, and it's James and Kicker who trying to desperately hold on to their weaponry. ENCE can justify the hunt. They've got lots of cash left over. I don't think they're going to find anyone here, but ENCE will get it. Bomb goes off. AVANGAR were $3,000 per player now as they save the 2 weapons. Maybe a timeout here required. We're getting to that dangerous scoreline. 12-6 down. Another potential eco here as well. So they want to force this and see whether James can carry them through the round. He buys armor at least, so he spent $1,000 there already. Got a smoke as well. I would say a timeout required here. See if they take it. They don't. So no force buy. Going to see if James can create some magic here as he heads towards the mid window.
He's going to have to stand tall. You said it. This is where he can come into his own, but that AWP has been such a staple for them. And Mirage, a map of many facets. It's not like Overpass where against Liquid he just saved it time and time again until he could finally get it rolling. Not to mention they started on the CT side on that occasion on the opening game for them, the best of 1. That started off their new legend stage. Now they're playing from behind. You can't really have too many rounds of a cushion. 4 more and the map is gone in the favor of ENCE. So smokes on A. James there, he's inside of the site as well. Interesting position to be in with the AWP. Still looking toward connector. That's not going to be a problem for him, but he's completely unaware of that. Instead, though, Kristen and Fitch need to confirm. James going to rotate back. He's behind triple. That'll give him vision forward to the smokes, but the flash is taken away. His teammates are still fighting valiantly inside of the cave. Fitch will go down eventually, so too Kristen. And now they work out from Palace. James got to hit those. Those are the shots that'll win him the round. He goes back for more, but they know where he is. He's still got kickered. Burning. They're both so low, but coming in to give him a hand, give him an aid, and now he can fall back towards CT. His kicker holds as well on the stairs. Bomb is escaping, and rightfully so. 30 seconds. They've got to take it elsewhere.
Alu just need to stay alive here. Make some distractions. He's making footsteps on purpose just to suggest they're still in this position. He wants to buy time for his teammates to rotate in towards that B bomb site. If he gets one of these, it's round done. There's still a chance for Alexi B though, but he might as well get his skates on now. Try and plant for short as quickly as he can. And there it is. Short plant comes through. He might not have time to cross over towards short, and he knows it. Instead, opts to fall back, and he's been spotted. Thankfully, I was about to say James didn't fire, so has the element of surprise, but now that's been given away. Lexi goes back to the bomb site floor. They might not be aware of this.
They'll work together, but the AK, oh, it's looked away. If it was looking at the door then, certain the round goes his direction. They're so low, he can still trade this. If they get anywhere near the bomb and they try and force the defuse and they're lined up, AK wins it. He now knows one is there. He's got it easily. Sees the gun. He wants the time in his favor because he knows he's also on 36. He knows he's tradable. Down goes the first. That's the round. James can't do anything with the AWP, and he knows he's got to try and escape as well, which means he can hold him with the AK. Bomb will take everyone down at this point, but it's 13-6 for ENCE.
Another fantastic call there in the late stages of the round. Comes down to the 2-on-2. It was looking very likely ENCE going to win that round. All of a sudden, the AWP does start landing shots. It was actually getting a little too chaotic there. Missed, what, 2 or 3? At that point, Ali just says, get towards that B bomb site. I will distract them. We did say, if he gets that 1 kill, this round done. He went down with nothing, but Alexi B couldn't have played that better. He's the highest rated player right now on ENCE, and that's a really massive clutch for a player that's still in his rookie year, really, and playing years above his experience as they go 13-6 up at this stage. Double AWP set up for the first time on the CT side, however. Ali slowing things right down as he waits for the flashbang to come in towards middle. And I'm going to assume they're going to smoke the window here as well. Double AWPs, though, could be enough to save the day.
Smoke in. James going to back off it. That is the problem as well on Mirage. Sure, the AWP is extremely powerful. They've got 2 of them. That's not uncommon either. But early round, that smoke in the window makes it so hard to get dominant picks. To have an early influence. Oftentimes the AWP is setting as a turret trying to defend on an execute.
Good damage done. That's even more. Kicker will be dropped. Prison. He's the low HP player. 20 HP right now. He sits in the connector. I was about to say, he's got flames next to him. He's locked in. He just jumps into them. Bit of panic there, perhaps. Buster recovers the secondary AWP, and Alexi B snuck through the connector. James, though, so good in close proximity.
It's 2 AWPs, though, to hold. He better be good in close proximity because they are going to be all over him. Already are. Alexi inside of jungle. Does he swing and check it? Back turn. Oh, he's got to hit those.
God.
He's been so good throughout. We've been bigging it up. No question of his performances being resounding, but that time not. The sound was, it'll be ringing in Alexi's ears, but he's lucky to be alive, and another one missed. This is the problem. This is now a huge problem because 2 shots that would have easily influenced the round have gone away from them. Still, though, there's 18 seconds. If they can find just enough to deny the bomb plant, the round can still go in their favor. It's down to 11, and they're still not on. Fitch, he can't get the shot either. They might not get to this. 8 seconds, they want to go to the smoke. Fitch is right beside them. In fact, he's touching, but he's gone the wrong way. He's gotten behind. There's still a chance, but it's going to have to be on a defuse, and Sergey's gotten away. His own smoke that they threw in from CT has allowed the terrorists to plant, and potentially the round as James finally hits one. AVANGAR get number 7.
Was he blind there? The animation suggested he was. My goodness, that was very close indeed. James, you are right. He misses some crucial shots there. But he lands the one that matters the most. The problem is they only have 1 player that survives, and there's plenty of cash on the end side here. Here's the replay, planting in the smoke. The CT can't find it, but it actually worked out in the end. They managed to get a couple of kills off it and win out in the 1 versus 1. They will get $3,500 per player for winning by defuse. And as we spoke about before, that's not enough for a buy on the CT side. They're going to have a FAMAS here, a UMP, only 1 kit, and 2 players without any grenades whatsoever. If they lose this round, it's 14-7, I would say GG. This one decides it, at this stage at least. AVANGAR have to win this round, and then follow it up with a victory as well.
Absolutely true. It's pressure point. That's what we'll refer to these hinge rounds as now. A make or break pressure point. Smoke at the bottom of connector, none in the window. But it's a rotation away from mid, at least for now. Alu's still at the top of it with the AWP in case anyone pushes, and he could certainly go for a late take once they establish their presence on A, once they get in positions that they are comfortable with. Sergey naturally goes out toward Palace once again. But no aggression from the CTs. No one trying to really get information at this point. Even Fitch and B is well back toward the van.
James needs to start landing these shots now. Execution looking likely. Smokes are deployed. But James still with vision. Very traditional spot for the AWPers. Will Alu detect him on the other side? He's currently positioned towards top and middle, and it takes 7 towards that connector. He'll get the first as a follow-up frag as well, but James can only find the 1 kill, and that's potentially all they get out of this round map because, like we said, it must win, and it's not going to happen. X7, did he think? Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. He'll find the frag. It's 14-7. ENCE on the map pick of AVANGAR should be able to close this out no problem. They've got $1,400 per player. You can't really let it go to 15-7, so they're going to have to force buy and see what they can do with it. Here he comes. This is the ENCE we know and love. They've certainly been up and down this tournament. Mostly down, considering they're in the 1 and 2, or 2 and 2 at this stage. Up against Deagle, CZs. No scouts, no SMGs, no kits. ENCE can close out the game here.
They can. They've got to consider Buster as well. He can try and shut them down, but pistols, they're not going to get aggressive at all with the peaks. Got to go with a little bit more speed than that. Alexi, he will. Buster's behind him, though. I don't think he's aware of it. You know what spot Alexi hit in the corner? I think he's just far enough around. Okay, he is. That's a good view of it. Just far enough around the corner to not be spotted. And if he goes, he's not even going to look that way, I don't think. Gets back in the ladder. Alexi with a flash will check it. Thankfully, he's already inside that door, or he would be a target easy for the AK. It's off throne. They can hear it coming. Keeker vacates the premises of van. Alu's already got the opener. Buster just waiting at this point in time. Ariel's right down below him, but he's unaware of it. Top down behind. Buster's going to be staring at the window, expecting a boost. He's actually going to give up ladder room. Little does he know, Ariel's there with his back turned. He's got a free kill. It's a matter of who finds the other first. He will still at least get 1. AK picked up. Able to press the use key, but here's where Ariel strikes back. He didn't see him. Did he? He just didn't react. He didn't realize he did. Somehow that's going to cost them because he goes back out toward Catwalk and Fitch gets the kill against him. It easily should have been the trade on window, and now it's suddenly just X7. He's found by a Deagle in the sight.
You can see them panicking somewhat there. ENCE will give the round up. Fantastic shots from AVANGAR and capitalizing upon the advantages they found, but you can see ENCE just looking stifled and not sure how to play off each other. Lots of one-on-one commitments and unable to trade out kills. really probably wanted to avoid that short area considering they had pistols there. The CPO area is a very dangerous place to head towards against the pistols, and now they've let AVANGAR right back in this. As we mentioned, that was the chance to close it all down. Now they find themselves on the back foot. They don't have enough to buy 3,400 on 2 players, actually 3 of them. It's Sergey and X7 who can purchase into this, but they've got such a lead right now, I would say probably not worth. Yes, the idea is there to reset the CTs right now, but if you don't win that round, you're in a lot of trouble. I think just maybe a little partial buy here would be enough. So we're heading to round number 23. This could go the distance now. So they will go those Deagles and CZs that we brought out, a couple of smokes, and they send all 5 players towards the A side of the map. They'll wait for the initial exchange of utility to go down. 3 smokes, so presumably steps, jungle, CD spawn. That's jungle, that's steps. I think CT, yep, but the grenade's coming from that area.
Grenades coming toward that area as well, but they're too deep. Kicker's not spray. That's not a bad conversion considering 2 up front, and then he held it down to go far, and Palace gets a 3rd as well. Krizen's going to close it out. Flawless round from AVANGAR. It's now 14-9. Still a ways to go. We're not to the double-digit mark yet, but they're still not on overtime point on the ENCE side either, so this is on.
Well, this is when the experience really comes through. These are both very young teams, and closing out games when the pressure's on is a skill you have to learn as you attend more tournaments. And right now, your mindset shifts. You're having a great time in the first half. There's not too much pressure there. You're hitting your shots. You're working well as a team. The strat book's working. As soon as you start overthinking things and you have one disaster trying against pistols, everyone kind of gets taken down a little bit. And here's kick up. Lovely spray. You are right. Flawless round apart from the bomb going down does yield a buy here for ENCE as they bring out the AWP and everything required around it. Alu's had a pretty decent game so far with 17 and 16. Jame, I would say an average game by his standards. He's missed quite a lot of shots, but saved them in situations as well. Let's see what he can do here. He's not feeling like pushing toward that smoke is going to be beneficial. So he'll give in as Krizen with the AK, feeling like he can take some of these one-taps, and he'll certainly find them. Sergey gets dropped in the Palace position.
Boost up toward the window for Alexi. They could have doubled that up. There's 2 in that position, but they won't. He'll hold for now. Smoke down. Positions himself so as to check the ladder room. Alu's going around to that corner. AWP up close for his sake. Fortunately, it's empty. Now that that's cleared, Alexi can start to use his position more aggressively, shall we say, toward the A side of the map.
CT's very comfortable right now. 3 towards the A sides, actually quite deep within the bomb side floor, as you can see. Sandwich and 2 players working off each other right in the middle. 5 versus 4 in their favor. Where do ENCE want to head? They are now feeling the financial burn. 1 smoke remaining, also a flash as they go towards jungle here. Can't find anyone. Alu gives it up by going for the wallbang there. They've got 30 seconds. They need to act now.
Smokes go down deep, but they're already too close. Buster and Krizen dropped. It could be ENCE turning it around to find map point this time, but Kicker's still in the side, only gets 1. Traded back immediately by X7, and bomb planted. Alu holds the window, the vent as well with the AWP. James gonna go against him on the same gun. I think he's gotta go all the way around to CT and join Fitch. They both have kits. There's 2 flashes, a single smoke. Smoke gonna go now. That's aggressive. Aerial's played that perfectly. He's going to stay on top of it. Bomb's directly in front of him. He knows how to go, and the smoke's gone deep. It's gone way too deep. Forces Aerial to back off, but it forces Fitch around, and he's caught with nothing in his hands. Was finished throwing an 8 and not yet ready on the M4. James is, but I think he's already looking to try and save. Has red as well that they're in behind him. Alu try and lock him in position towards CT. They won't pursue. X7 can't cross the site with the bomb due to go off, but Alu finds the shot anyway, and ENCE are on 15.
They certainly are, map. That's a great recovery from ENCE. It's a 5 versus 4. They have almost no utility whatsoever. They get some connector control, and they make their way through. The only smoke they had was to extinguish an incendiary, and it's Aerial and Alexi B trading out and finding all the frags. You see Kuka, he's very frustrated with that one. A lot on the line here. Making it to the top 8 is absolutely massive. Means you're guaranteed to come back directly into the round of 16 at the next major. That also guarantees, obviously, stickers and all the rest that comes with it. For AVANGAR, a team we don't see too much of apart from these major events, which is weird to say. It's a big deal. And Jame isn't going down without a fight. That's a lovely shot to take down Lexi B.
Ariel also moving his way closer toward connector. First kill is massive for James. That's overtime the goal at this point for AVANGAR.
Yeah, 6 rounds to do it.
Hello holding. ENCE will slow the pace, they have to. Already with one inside a connector though. Kristen has his attention firmly fixed upon that entrance. Flash timing. Ariel waited for it to pop. If he had a gun as it was thrown, he might have had the back turn, but Kristen manages to get back in position, get back aimed, and find the kill in return as Kikert will catch X7 and cross. Sergey's now on the site. Alu, we saw him already, was inside a palace with the AWP. First task, get the bomb, and the smoke down is far too deep. That can be spotted from connector. That doesn't give Sergey much to work with at all.
Alu waiting for his opportunity. They still have time. He's hoping mistakes are made, but so far, so good. AVANGAR 5 versus 1. Money will be reset, so this isn't impossible to imagine a world where they get back into this and take it to overtime. It starts with this. If they can remove Alu's AWP as well, that will certainly help things out. I think everyone was certainly got at this stage, and he has no idea. As he'll turn around, he gets one of these players, but should be traded out in the second. There it is. Double digits for AVANGAR, as the money sits around $3,000 for ENCE. So I would say they're taking eco here and wait till they can stabilize. There are a couple of players in the form of Alu and Ariel that have just under 2K. So I assume we'll see something very conservative here, nothing too wild. They can even let a couple of rounds go by if they really want to and try and close it out properly. But there's James. 71 ADR. 18 kills total.
Yeah, it's not his kills that have been the problem, it's the timing of them. The missed shots that also are costing them. A couple of rounds that easily could have gone their way if he was able to convert sooner before late in the round when they were recovering, if he had to get the openers. This time the openers, they will go AVANGAR's way. They're already inside of the site. James got Alu as well, and it's just Alexi to find. Followed up on the pistol by James. That gives him 2 more, gives him 20 total.
Ooh, they did force buy that. And that's going to be costly. They could have bought into this round. But unfortunately for them, the Mirage unable to find much more than 1 kill. So at this stage, timeout will be called. Closing out these maps on Mirage T side can be very difficult once you get ruined financially. Coach is chiming in now, trying to calm them down. They have 1 timeout remaining after this. I would just be saying, let's just focus on our own game, forget the pressure, wait till the money's stable, and we'll use our full gun rounds to end this. 4 rounds now for AVANGAR. Seems very possible at this stage. They have a double up set up for James and Buster. This round against the full eco will help them get everything they need for the rest of the half. As we come to the end of this pause, all on the line now. 20 kills for James, really posting decent numbers. Actually 20 for Fitch and Kikert as well, so they're all coming to life here. No one really dropping off in the server whatsoever. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast this one. See the skill available to them. They go for the rush out of Palace here. Objective, get that bomb down. Apply pressure to CT spawn. It's not actually impossible to win these sort of rounds as well. It's a 4-on-4. They have a rifle. Bombs planted.
Is incendiary as well. Unfortunately, they weren't breaking wide enough because it forced Alu forward. He's now got an AK off of this. He's going to surprise them with position, but he doesn't have the HP to really go along with it. Sergey couldn't fire enough bullets. Kikert's got it back. AVANGAR get 12. We're within 3. It won't take much to push this over the finish line. But it seems like the object they're pushing is getting heavier and heavier because momentum is certainly starting to go AVANGAR's way.
Another gun round for ENCE. 1 more will do it. Alu gets the AWP out. They have a full buy here. In terms of loss bonus now, it's a 3rd stage, so lose this. They're not guaranteed a buy, even with the bomb, but they do have around $1,000 left over. We'll see if this is where it all ends. What's the call? They've thrown in a couple of B rushes so far. Round 28, getting very close to the finish line. And they'll send 3 players towards a palace. This is the flash attack approach. You'll set up 1 smoke towards CT, send 2 flashes over, and it's a very dry but effective approach when you have aim stars like Sergey and Ariel leading the charge.
Good shot from James, that's better. Prison's gonna follow it up as well. Alu does get one back from Palace, and he knows that his teammate's on the stairs, so he can start to swing. So long as the smokes are down at jungle, they'll have control and ability to do so. It's a 3-on-3. X7, he's got it down with the smoke. It's still there, Buster. All he had to do was click. He's gonna realize it. He's gonna see the bomb there as soon as that smoke dissolved, and it was a problem because it was too late. Post-plant got away, and now it's the advantage to ENCE, and it might be the map as well. Buster still so far removed, and I don't think he's aware Alexi has worked his way inside of Connector. He checks it. He is fully aware. How dare I doubt him for a moment. It's an op on either side, a rifle as well, and Alu's going to transition. He wants to get back toward A main so he can trade off of X7 so that he disappears for a moment, and the absence of him and Palace is still a doubt that's causing them problems. Molotov, they go down toward it. They've got 2 kits. Krizen's got X7. It's Alu to peek it. He's got the shot on the AWP, and that should be the game in itself because there's no time left. They've got to run to the bomb, and the transition works. A main is what pays off for the AWP.
It takes the old master to close it out, but what a great job he did. Finds 4 kills in total. That's just what they needed. They were starting to drop off there. You could see the nerves getting to them somewhat, the money being wrecked, and AVANGAR getting stronger and stronger as every round went by. A valiant attempt there from the CIS squad. They didn't give up, even when frustration was showing. They managed to get 3 rounds in a row towards the end. A really enjoyable match of CS there, but it is going to be ENCE taking the map pick of AVANGAR as they go 16-12 up. We move on to Train next. Matt, what are your thoughts on that one? You feel like AVANGAR can come back?
This is going to be tough for them. That was a decent game. They did show resilience, but it was a little bit too late and too many mistakes early on that cost them certainly a slow start on both halves. Train does favor the AWP. Let's see if James can get his accuracy back to where we know it should be. Nonetheless, great game from ENCE.
Really enjoyed that one. It is going to be Train next, and James starting to warm up as well. Will it be enough to deny the 2-0 events? You'll have to find out after this break.